Goodness gracious. Thank you. Just sneezing. All right. Hello, guys. Is my sound working? Kind of froze up on me. Hold on. Let me make sure it's working. All right. Okay, y'all. Hello. Good morning. This is High Priestess Jamila. And I'm not going to be here too long. I just wanted to come by for just a few minutes. I want to talk to y'all and warn y'all about spiritual work, black magic, glamour, and liars, frauds, scammers, people that like to draw illusions, people that literally they sustain their lives by drawing illusions and lying at the expense of other people. And I want y'all to be careful with this dark moon in Neptune. Okay. So we are going to go through, well, basically, we're already at new moon energy. We're already in new moon energy right now. Okay. Um, but we will be at a new moon on April 25th of 2025, which we've got a repeating number 2 and 5. Okay, so you want to be careful on those days. Hey, good morning, Stefan. Hello. You want to be careful on those days. Dark moons can be really, really wicked. And the thing about Neptune and Pisces is that, first of all, Pisces Neptune is either going to be your best friend or your worst enemy. Neptune can sometimes be described, it's almost like the moon, but if you look at the moon card, okay, the moon card can symbolize and be a warning about darkness, dark magic, illusions, fears, people playing on your fears and things of that nature. That card is also connected to Beelzebub. Okay. For some reason, it's connected to him. And because a great deal of malevolency can come in with that. And so you really, really, really want to be protected from like the dark side of, I mean, the entire universe and Earth. Unfortunately, Neptune can be profound in magic, healing. I believe that a lot of the Fae is connected to Neptune. I believe that it is an amazing planet, but it can also be used to cast harm to people. Um, in fact, I always take my own advice. I haven't done it yet. One thing I can tell you is that the illusions of people, the illusions that they cast, the scams, pretty much, the liars, people that lie a lot, can use this moon to manifest negative things for others. And I think that this moon is going to be pivotal, especially if people know how to work with 1111. Okay, if they mix that in with it, ooh, not good. Okay, I want y'all to be careful with that. Be careful with any new moon in Neptune, any new moon in any sign, but Neptune in particular. We'll be in Pisces for a couple of days, and then I think it switches over to, is it Aries? I think it's Aries, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to double check. Make sure y'all protect yourself from that. I did my protection with my dagger. But I always like to do my other stuff. I'm being very, very, very careful these days, guys. Um, Seriously. You have to be very, very, very careful. And we're finding new and more tighter ways of binding people that are enemies. Basically, people trying to manifest certain things. These men will go to these witches. Witches will do wicked things with these moons, and I want y'all to be very, very careful. Okay, we don't really do necessarily wicked things over here, but what we do is we bring about justice and healing. Seriously, like it's been so much of the misuse of power. Everybody has been misusing their power. A lot of people, except for me. I've just been a perfect angel. I have been. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna stay that way. Okay. I don't follow. I don't follow people when I can clearly see what's gonna happen to those people. People that think that they should do things just because they can and they shouldn't. I'm very family oriented. I don't like drama and problems. I don't. And I can already see it coming. I can already see the lies and deception and the trickery. The trickery is coming. You definitely want to protect yourself from that. Okay. Um, I'm going to get my group because I'm doing my Venus group still until May Day, which is May the 1st. Um, So I will be doing some stuff to make sure that the group is protected because this, for some reason, this is what people do. This is what people like that do. That and eh, you know a lot of people don't want to believe in witchcraft, but you know what? I have witnessed and I have experienced the paranoia, the um the emotional, you know what I'm saying? The emotional stuff that can be casted upon using those energies. Okay. So, um, yeah, Lilith and Pisces individuals often find solace and expression through art, music, dance, or other creative pursuits. Just be careful, guys, because there are a lot of people out there that are buying and doing spell work that have emotional problems. They just have emotional problems. Do I think everybody should be practicing and playing around with magic? No, I don't. And I can just see it coming. And just be careful out there. Um, I think another thing that comes with Neptune is radicalism, extremism. Extremism. Those energies are already very powerful. Very powerful. Okay. And, they kind of go back and forth between a cycle of they want to try to do death magic on people. And then if they can't do death magic on people, if they can't do certain things, then they want to try to cast illusions. They want to try to, and them illusions can be very, very real. It almost puts people under mind control. And you know what? There are a lot of manipulative people who are liars. Those people sometimes don't even have to do witchcraft. They just lie. Even though we know lying is not good, even though we know that those people are going to eventually have to face their music. We know it. Some people are just gluttons for punishment. They don't care. I've never seen anything like it before in my life. By the way, y'all, there's another movie I'm going to share to my community wall for y'all to watch in case y'all have time. It's called Dream House Nightmare. And just the utter obsession, I mean, it, y'all know I like my Lifetime movies. I think it's a Lifetime movie, but it's a very good movie, actually. I'll share that to my community wall also. Just be very careful. Um, whenever you see any kind of major event like that in Pisces, you know, anytime you see any water sign settled in with a full or new moon, okay, let's just put it like that. Like maybe not the other ones so much, but when it comes to them water signs, and we got Pisces going on with a dark moon. Um, but typically with Cancer, it's not as bad. Cancer rules over the home and family, so Cancer moons are really good for um, you know, manifesting home improvements and things of that nature, security, stability for the family. But, it can still be used for malevolency. I would say that that Neptune moon, ooh, my goddess. You know what I like to do? I like to always divinate before I do spiritual work. And you know what I do? I look it up and I ask spirit, what's going to be thrown at me and my family and my clients, and I'll see it and I'll block it and any and all other ill wills and ill fates um, of enemies. You know what I mean? Because they're out there and they're doing it, and but you don't have to just use spiritual work to deal with spiritual work. You can actually, magic trumps the mundane every day. It does. Magic trumps the mundane. So, like I was saying, people that are out there telling lies, spreading rumors, things of that nature, they can have a negative impact on your life, unfortunately. Okay, depending on what kind of lie it is. What are they saying? Okay. Some lies have gotten people killed. I know that I was dealing with, and thank the gods, my significant other is not violent. He's not crazy, and I'm not even around him right now. Not that I like that is happening. Um, so he's not violent or crazy. However, for some reason, I've been seeing a lot of people that are trying to make violence happen to women. I've seen that kind of spell work, but I've also seen grown men lying, exaggerating, and twisting the truth so that they can cause problems within people's relationship. Okay. Uh, um, for some reason, there's a lot of people out there doing that for sport. I don't understand it, why people do things like that. But and so the next thing you know you're arguing. Now, another thing that spirit is telling me is to protect your magical workings. Okay. And I'm talking about stuff that counts. I'm not talking about some petty shit. that somebody just want to play around with it. I'm talking about things that are serious in your life, whether or not it's like a love reunion or other stuff such as reclaiming your energy, reclaiming your power, reclaiming your destiny. Yeah, you want to protect those things because that dark moon in Neptune will cause things to become very obscured. Okay. Make sure you do that. Well, I'm definitely letting my people know that I'm making sure that I am doing that because it's a lot going on. And then also maybe one thing I can tell you is that I have noticed a lot of y'all's enemies trying to watch your spell work, trying to watch your spell work. Some people, for some reason, they have an obsessive and some of them even an invested interest in fucking with your love life. Okay, I don't know why. Well, I kind of do know why. I think it's for purposes of energy harvesting, or some people just don't want to see you happy. Some people just like to be on the attack. So y'all really need to pay attention to that. Um, at a time where we should actually be focused. Oh, here's another thing I want to talk to y'all about. These people that keep up all that drama and stuff, you know what? They are distracting you guys from so much wonderfulness in life. And I want y'all to focus this new moon on these fake lovers and fake twin flames. Okay, is what I want to talk about. Um, People that scam and scheme so that they can throw off the course of your destiny. They are out there. They're hateful. They're more hateful than ever. Okay. Your love, your family, the time that you spend with your significant other, those things are considered to be earthly pleasures. Okay. There are people out there that are just miserable and they want to see you miserable too. Um, there's this debate in the spiritual community about love work and everything, but I've seen people that have just been alone for the past 30, 40, 50 years of their life. And so what's wrong with a little bit of love work? What's wrong with that? That for some reason, there's an initiative to keep people in limbo when it comes to love. And then also, I want you guys to protect your families too. Um, I could sense a lot of disturbances within families. In particular, those of you that practice witchcraft, and for some reason, an effort being made to force this hatred based on religion, which is so funny to me. Guys, y'all gotta start protecting your whole family. You gotta start doing it because these people, for some reason, they're very radical. This moon is gonna be phenomenal for them, even though they tell us to not practice it. For some reason, they always on time with it, ain't they? Uh, you know, you're holier than thou, and I'm an evil witch that worships the devil, but somehow you're following that moon, ain't you? And you know that that new moon is coming in Neptune. It's very weird, but and they will cast these illusions. Like I said, Christians practice witchcraft too. The only difference is that witches, we own it. We own it. Literally, we own it. Like we are the gatekeepers of it. Okay. But when you get somebody that's practicing the craft and they're religious too, One of the things that baffles me is that they're practicing witchcraft, right? But for some reason, they want everybody to be against you, even though you're a witch and you're supposed to be practicing it. Isn't that funny? So what they'll do is they'll have everybody hating on you and shaming you for practicing while they practice. Um, it's a lot more that I could talk about. It is. It's a lot more that I could talk about, man. Oh my goodness. If y'all have not watched that movie that I shared to the community wall, y'all need to watch it. It's very interesting to say the least. Okay. Just be careful out here, y'all. Okay. Seriously. Um, I don't know. I've always been the type of person that has had way other better stuff to do than to be, my craft that I practice is for healing, family necessities, healing. It's not for all that. I'll deal with some baneful stuff if I have to, but I don't prefer to do that. Anyway, I'm tired. I'm gonna watch a movie until I fall asleep. I hope that y'all have a happy Thursday. Blessings to y'all. And if I don't see y'all before the 25th, happy new moon. Okay. All right. And if you feel the need to speak to me, visit divineservicesapothecary.com. All right, guys. Blessings to y'all. Bye bye.